Good afternoon. My name is Alan Riggs. I'm the aquaculture veterinarian for Hawaii Department of Ag, and today we're going to do a video module on basic aquaculture systems. We're going to start with types of aquaculture systems by water use, and we have two primary types. The first is open, which is defined as a single pass use of water. The second is a closed, where we have a recirculated fixed volume of water. Sometimes you may see a system called a crack or a combination where it's a very slow open system. Next we're going to talk about is types of aquaculture systems by engineering design. This is what most people will think about on the different types of systems. First of all, we have ponds, which can be either a lined or an unlined pond. Basically, an unlined pond is just a hole dug into the ground. We can have a tank. We can have a raceway. We can have a cage. We can have a net pen. And there's some new type systems now called aquaponics, which are a combination of plant and fish systems. We're going to kind of give you some visual clues on when you're looking at an aquaculture system on how to determine if it's an open or closed water use. First is, can you see water actually flowing into the system? Can you see water flowing out of the system? If water is moving into your system, is the water level rising? And the last one is, do you see any other structures that are inside the system or outside, maybe on the bank, where water is pumped up and moves through before it returns back to the main system? Now we got a question. This open versus closed system, why would a farmer maybe want to consider one type versus the other? Here's some points to consider. The physical location of your site. The second, which is one of the most important, are the numbers of aquatic animals you're going to culture or raise in that unit of water. Another point is the type of water chemistry that you may require for that species of interest. And the last one is, do you have the presence of required energy to maintain water life? Is your type system requiring water circulation or aeration to keep your animals alive? So what we're going to do now is show some actual images of different types of aquaculture systems, and we want to see if the audience can determine what kind of these systems are relative to water use or engineering. Now you might not be able to make the complete determination from just what you see, so you might have to ask some questions later, but from this first take, just see if you can figure out, is it an open or closed system and what type of design. So the first one we're looking at is a open raceway system where you can see a large volume of water is entering at one end and exiting at the other. This next shot, what is this? This is an aerial view of channel catfish production ponds in the southeast where you'll see very big structures where we have bodies of water. We really cannot determine if any water is moving in or out of these systems, but this is a pond system. Next, what about this? This is a small recreational koi pond, and we can see water moving out of the waterfall, and we really can't tell that there's a lining here, but this is basically a lined pond. Closed system. This is a pond system, and it is an unlined pond. Basically, we just got this dug into the ground. Now, if you'll look where you can see no water is flowing into this pond, we're going to call this a closed system. Now, what about this one? This is where we have lined, you can see the liner, tanks, and we've got pipes where water is entering one system, We have a small pipe in the back where we can see some water flowing. But what you don't know on this one, this is a line tank system, but it's closed and the water is being recirculated. So just because you see water moving in may not necessarily always mean that it is an open system. What about this shot? We've got a concrete raceway. We don't see a liner, but it looks like there's lots and lots of fish in that system relatively to per unit of water. Now, this may be an open raceway where water's flowing in single pass and out the other end, but some advanced culturists can actually maintain high volumes of fish in closed systems, but they have to have really good filtration. So when you see a system like this, you would have to ask some more questions. Is this an open, or you've got very good closed system filtration? Here's some examples of some cages in a greenhouse in a pond. So we've got a closed system. This is cage by design. What about this cage? This is in a larger body of water. The animals are maintained inside the cage where we'll be able to use the volume of water for dilution to help maintain the animals. And this is an aquaponic system where you can see we've got plants in one system, we've got a tank with a finite amount of water on the other side. Basically, this is a closed system and it's a recirculation loop. This is just an overview of what we've got on types of systems, and you might want to review this over to be able to tell which ones you want to use in the future.